Ever wondered how to shoot professional product videos? Well, today we're diving into that very subject. For content creators and businesses alike, mastering the art of product videography can make the difference between being lost in the crowd or standing out like a beacon. It's all about understanding the process, breaking it down into manageable steps. From pre-production to that final cut, we're going to be your guide. So stay tuned if you want to take your product videos to the next level. The first step to successful product videos is pre-production. Now you might be wondering, what's so crucial about pre-production? Well, think of it as laying the foundation for your video. Just like a building, if you don't have a solid base, the whole structure could come tumbling down. Let's break it down. Pre-production is where all the planning happens. This is where you brainstorm ideas, identify your target audience, and decide on the message you want your video to convey. It's the stage where you outline your video structure and choose the style and tone. And then there's script writing. This isn't just about the words that will be spoken in your video. It's also about planning the visuals, the sounds, and the timing. It's where you decide what you want to show and how you want to show it. Next, gathering resources. This could be anything from props and costumes to the right camera equipment and software. Making sure you have everything you need before you start shooting can save you a lot of time and stress later on. And lastly, setting up a schedule. This involves planning out when and where you'll shoot and making sure everyone involved knows what they need to do and when they need to do it. So to wrap it up, pre-production is all about preparation. It's about taking the time to plan out your video in detail, so when it comes to shooting, you're ready to roll. Remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. Now let's discuss setting up the perfect shot. Choosing the right background is your first step. It's like setting the stage for your product. You want a background that complements your product without overpowering it. Think of it like a supporting actor in a play. The background should enhance your product's features and not distract from it. Use neutral colors or something that contrasts with your product to really make it pop. Positioning the product is the next step. This is where the magic happens. You need to consider the product's angle, distance from the camera, and its relationship with the background. You want your product to be the star of the show. Aim for an angle that showcases your product's best features. Play around with different positions until you find the one that tells your product's story best. Now let's talk about lighting. Good lighting can make or break your shot. It's what brings your product to life. Too much light and your product might look washed out. Too little and your product might get lost in the shadows. The key here is balance. Opt for natural light whenever possible. If that's not an option, experiment with different artificial light sources. Remember, you want your product to be clearly visible and its colors to be true to life. Finally, setting up the camera. This is where it all comes together. The camera angle, focus, and distance all play a crucial role in the quality of your shot. You want to capture your product in a way that draws the viewer in. A good rule of thumb is to keep your product in the center of the frame and in sharp focus. Experiment with different camera settings until you find the one that brings out the best in your product. Each element, the background, the product's position, the lighting, and the camera setup, plays a pivotal role in creating the perfect shot. They are interconnected, each one influencing and enhancing the other. It's like a well-choreographed dance, each step carefully planned and executed with precision. The perfect shot is all about balance and attention to detail. With everything set up, it's time to hit the record button. Now we're diving into the heart of the matter. Filming techniques. Let's start with camera angles. They're not just about capturing the product, they're about telling a story. A low angle can make your product look powerful and significant, while a high angle might give a sense of scale or show off its size. Don't be afraid to get creative. Try an extreme close-up to highlight a specific feature or an overhead shot to give a bird's eye view. Next, let's talk about camera movements. They add depth and dynamism to your video. A simple pan can show off the breadth of your product, while a dolly zoom can create a dramatic effect. Don't shy away from experimenting with movements like tracking or tilting to add a cinematic touch. Now onto shot types. They are the building blocks of your video. A wide shot can set the scene, showing the product in its environment, whereas a medium shot can be used to focus on the product itself. Close-ups, on the other hand, invite viewers to pay attention to the finer details. Mix and match these shot types to keep your video engaging. But remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach here. The best filming techniques are those that serve your product and its story. It's about finding the right balance between what looks good and what communicates your message effectively. So don't be a spectator, be an experimenter. Try different angles, movements, and shot types. Play around until you find what works best for you. Remember, every choice you make with your camera contributes to the narrative you're creating. And don't forget, it's not about having the most expensive equipment or the fanciest techniques. It's about understanding your product and using your camera to bring its story to life. Remember, the camera is your storytelling tool, so use it wisely. After getting all the shots, it's time for post-production. This is the stage where you bring everything together to create a masterpiece. Think of it as a diamond cutter, taking the raw footage and refining it into a polished gem. Let's start with video editing. This is where you arrange your shots, trim down the footage, and pick out the best takes. It's like piecing together a puzzle, ensuring each part flows smoothly into the next. The key here is to be patient and meticulous. Each clip should serve a purpose and contribute to the overall narrative. Once you've got your visuals in order, it's time to consider the soundscape. Whether it's an upbeat tune, a dramatic score, or subtle sound effects, the right audio can enhance the mood and feel of your product video. Remember, silence can also be a powerful tool when used strategically. Now let's talk about color grading. This process allows you to adjust the colors in your footage, giving your video a unique look and feel. It's not just about making your video brighter or more colorful. It's about creating a consistent color palette that matches your brand or the mood of your video. Lastly, we have rendering. This is the final step where your edited and color-graded video is processed into a single file. It's like baking a cake. All your ingredients are mixed together, and now it's time to put it in the oven. The importance of post-production cannot be overstated. This phase allows you to polish your video, correct any errors, and bring your vision to life. It's the final touch that can make your product video stand out from the crowd. So, don't rush through post-production. Take your time, experiment with different techniques, and watch your product video transform from a raw footage into a captivating visual story. Post-production is where the magic happens, and that's how you shoot a professional product video. It's a journey that begins long before the camera starts rolling, with the essential stage of pre-production. Remember, planning is key. Define your goals, identify your target audience, and create a storyboard to visualize your concept. Setting up the perfect shot is the next crucial step. It's about finding the right balance of lighting, composition, and camera angles. Don't be afraid to experiment and see what works best for your product. The beauty of this process is there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Then comes the filming phase, where your preparation and setup come together. Master the use of different filming techniques like close-ups, tracking shots, and slow motion to add depth and dynamics to your video. Keep in mind that the focus should always be on the product. Post-production is where you turn your raw footage into a compelling product video. This is where you'll do your editing, color correction, sound design, and add any special effects. It's the final polish that makes your video stand out. But let's not forget, the learning doesn't stop here. The world of content creation is always evolving, and it's important to stay updated with the latest trends and techniques. Practice makes perfect, and every video you shoot is a new opportunity to learn and grow. This journey of mastering the art of product video shooting is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires patience, persistence, and a whole lot of passion. But the reward is worth it. A well-crafted product video can capture the essence of your product, engage your audience, and ultimately drive sales. So, what are you waiting for? The next great product video could be yours. But remember, it all starts with the first step. So take that step today. Now go out there and start creating. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on content creation.